Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel for those of you who have already watched my videos, and welcome everybody who is new, which is probably most of you since this channel is new. My name is Jules. My pronouns are he, him. I am a professional commercial food photographer and stylist, and also cookbook author and recipe developer. And today, what we are going to do is walk through my current setup for my planners, as well as go through what I have planned for 2022, which will be a completely new setup um, from the one that I have been using for the past 5 or 6 years. So, current, let's start with current. Current, this is, I'm about to tell you how much of a nerd I am, but this is my Animal Crossing journal. And because I have OCD as part of being autistic, um, and I'm a completionist, to not let my OCD take over while I'm playing Animal Crossing. I printed off a whole bunch of and made some stickers that have to do with what things are like, what wildlife are leaving each month. What I start with leaving because that is a priority every month. What is arriving. So once I get everything that's arrived or left, then I work on what's arriving. Special seasonal DIYs. Um, there's another seasonal. I'm looking forward to this. It will be the first time that I've experienced snow in Animal Crossing. This is the first time that I've experienced autumn in Animal Crossing. So I basically have this all the way through for the year, including seasonal DIYs. And then at the very back, I have my hybrid guide, and it goes through what each breeding combination and where I have the gardens that are currently growing these things. And then I have a big, huge French garden in my game, and this is what these ones track is another blue rose guide. I will link in the description down below where you could print off all of these things and make your own guide. And when it comes to seasonal things, I'll show this to you. So seasonal, there's like the, let's see if you can, so yeah, it starts off with the dashboard for each season, quarter, when each thing special crafting is happening, and then so this one has like September 1st to 10th is acorn, but I have it at the beginning of September because that's when I did everything. And then like for October, at the beginning of October, I had all the special Halloween items so I could make sure that I was collecting everything that I needed to collect during spooky season. Some explanation on what happens on Halloween. And then once we get into November, these are the new mushroom crafting because now it's mushroom season. The maple leaf, this is November 26th, 25th. And then there's American Thanksgiving, which, again, there's more food and stuff. And it just continues like that. Like December has this special snowflake stuff. The dashboard has seasonal stuff. Ornament season. So yeah, I have ornament season again closer to January because that's when that happens. These are from January 1st to 15th, so they're at the beginning of January for that season. So yeah, that is my Animal Crossing. It's a B6, I think. It's 5x7. And then currently, I will move on to this journal. which carries a traveler's lines and two travelers lines. Oh no, 1 day free and one line. And basically this is just whatever I am that is not personal or work, but is on like committees that I'm on. I'm a member, I'm an accredited food photographer with the Professional Photographers of Canada. I'm also the chair of a bunch of committees, and I'm secretary for the BC region. So this is basically where I write down anything to do related with that. I'm also do some volunteer work with the Couch and Brain Injury Society. So any meetings that I have with, like, this is a catch-all for everything that is not immediately that is not paid work related, that is volunteer work related. And then what I've been doing for the past few years is 2 Midoris. Well, they were Midori, now it's just Travelers Company. One was for personal stuff and one for work-related stuff. And this changed kind of last year when I started to do food photography full-time and started to slowly no longer do market. I had a full-service marketing agency that included doing web development and anything from beginning to end, online and print. And so for a while, as I was working through trauma therapy, I used to overwork and used work to escape dealing with what anything else going on that was traumatic, to disassociate. So to kind of separate those two and find a balance between work and life, I had 2 different journals. My personal one was the week's free, and then a lined note for journaling, but also there was like tracking my gardens, random thought, these things that would go into the Jibun Techo life type things that I didn't even know was a thing that could exist in a journal. I used to do it on my own. This would always get transferred over every time I filled up this insert, it would get transferred. And then this end part was just if I was feeling down or whatever, right? It's just a bunch of pictures of my animals so that days that I was feeling blue or just needed a quick pick me up, open up this section, and there's just some happy images. So that was my personal, served me very well. And then my work, I mean, it changed this year when I started my new business, and it quickly fell. Basically, I had a new way of doing things where I would assess how I was feeling a few times a day. Like, I assess my spoon level, and then based on how many spoons I have, I enter what I'm planning to do for that work day. And it's been very, very effective. The middle is just brainstorming ideas, and the end was supposed to be for photo sketches, for food photography. I mean, sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. It was a pain in the ass to do. So that quickly fell off. But how I really, like when I was really doing that, I moved to a mixture of also Microsoft planning tools and Microsoft Planner because I have a bunch of projects that I was tracking and I was trying to do things digitally and that didn't work as well. So for 2021, things have been a mix of digital, paper, hasn't really worked either one. And that's why I'm doing a new system for 2022. So this used to be when I was doing, I created these, I sewed these covers as well as the Star Trek covers that you see in here. This was my old company logo from when I was simply doing web development and design and website hosting. So, and this was just some old fabric that my mother-in-law sent me because it's like a keyboard and nerdy, and she thought I would appreciate it, and she was right. So anytime that I needed to roughly sketch out the idea for landing pages on a website, I'd quickly sketch them out, see if it worked before moving on and letting the client know. Again, the week's free I used. Basically, yeah, as a punch list. Or daily task list is basically, yeah. Daily task list is what that was. This was the punch list. So daily task list, and there would be things like see page, here we go, see page 48. So this is like, I'm building a website. These are the things I plan to do for to develop the website that day. See page 48, which would be this. See page 48. And that was the longer punch list because it couldn't fit in the overview. So it would go start here, go and then dial down in here. What I also used to do some time ago in, oh yeah, here's another example. It says like daily tasks. I had a task of daily things to do. And that daily task list, again, was in my longer punch list. And that was, if you open it right in the middle, it's like what each of those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 correspond with. And those would get done. Stickers, I use stickers instead of check marks because everybody likes to get rewarded with stickers. I mean, I love getting stickers in school for finishing assignments or whatever, and so I use stickers as a way of being, hey, good job, have a present. So yeah, just more another example of my personal journal, and like these are, you know how in the Jibun Techo it has a spot for putting your favorite quotes. I mean, I already had that words said by others that caused me to smile, and I would copy every single time I finished one of these. I would copy all of these pages over into the new free journal page, or free to continue it. So that's basically what the life, right, what I have a effort set up in for 2022. And another thing that I used to do at the very beginning of when I was first, so this is the week's free that I used in my personal. And again, it's just everything. So the beginning of the week's free would be appointments that I needed to track 6 months, and then the next list would be the 6 months of birthdays. But aside from doing the appointments, things I had to do, daily to-dos on one side, the other side I would track things I would do every day for self-care, because I used to be really, really bad at self-care. And then I would do 3 things, mindfulness. And unlike other mindfulness, it wasn't sit at the end of the day and think back on your day to be mindful. It was about being mindful in the moment. So as soon as I would catch myself being grateful about something or happy about something, I would note it at that time and what it helped me do when it came to working through this association, because I have complex post-traumatic stress syndrome. It would constantly force me to be in the moment instead of getting into disordered thinking, and always looking for something good. And then as soon as that good thing would happen, like this one is like more Midori Club stickers. Um, oh yeah, this is when the Star Trek coins came out, and this is the City on the Edge of Forever coin. That arrived in the mail that day. Friends having a feud on Twitter about cargo pants and cargo shorts. Um, Shot a video of one of my dogs. the puppies sniffing me to death after after a shower, because who doesn't love dogs loving on you? So that's how that was, and I'm going to figure out how to. I don't find myself doing this much anymore because I'm no longer dissociating all the time like I used to. Because this method works, instead of reflecting back on your day to keep you up to in the moment. So yeah, I don't need this anymore. But I still, because I'm always thankful and always mindful and always know what I have to be grateful for. So that was also what I used to do is, so I have a lot of fish. I'm a fish hobbyist as well, breeding them. Then COVID came and I stopped being able to sell the fish because of COVID, so I stopped breeding. But this little passport one used to be for tracking everything that needed to be done in my fish room every single day. So it was like how much money I made for selling the fish. Um, oh yeah, this is when my fish got ick, so I was tracking the meds for the days, when I had to fertilize everything, water testing days. I also had other journals that I might show you sometimes where I would track every single individual tank, when they were watered, when they were fed, when they were bred. I had this whole system that I might one day walk you through for any of you who might also be fish nerds. Um, if things ever, and then just a running to-do list of things that needed to be done in the fish room. I want to continue to use this for some reason. I don't know how I'm going to use it yet, but I mean, it's the passport size, it's convenience, but I don't want to be having, because I still have more journals that were my regular journals, and I'm trying to consolidate things now that I'm having the ability to really separate work and personal, even if they're in the same space, and I'm like doing self-care every day as a regular part of my routine, and I no longer have some unhealthy habits. Another journal. This one is from the Key Ingredient, who's a fellow professional food photographer, and they have made this workbook. Let's see if this will focus. There we go. That basically allows you to, so if you're doing a shoot, the location, what you're shooting. This was like for my own recipe development. What platforms it's being shot for to make sure that I have the proper sizes, the aspect ratios needed, equipment checklist. Those are very important. Shot list, prop list, notes for shopping, etc., and then to sketch out your shot. And the problem is, again, having multiple notebooks, it's like, oh, well, I have to grab another notebook. And this wasn't really being utilized, even though it is great and it probably works for some people. But what I'm probably going to do in the future, oh, here's one that didn't work, is tear these sheets out and still use them, but tear them out and stick them inside of what is coming up for next year. So I'm trying to consolidate this as well in 2022. So yeah, all of this is my current. That's a lot. That's a lot. Oh, something else that I forgot to show you. Where did I put it? See, this is the problem. There's too many things to track. Here it is. Another journal that I was doing is I do Aerogardening. I grow a lot of my own fruits like peppers and tomatoes, and I grow all my own herbs. And what I do is, well, I used to do it this way, is keep track of my gardening, take a picture of the process, what maintenance I did, and then my Farm Pluses would be tracked like this, like every single circle is a circle in the Farm Plus. Garden 3, take pictures as they go, garden 1, 2, 3, and then eventually got a fourth, another farm, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4 gardens. So yeah, this is just basically, in each of these circles, it's like on how tall they were, because I have to measure them, how tall they were, on what date I harvested it, and then how tall they were after I harvested, because I was keeping track of how quickly these herbs grow, and because I was also writing about it on my Disabled Kitchen and Garden website. So this helped me keep track of how quickly things were growing, so that when I was doing my weekly updates on the state of my gardens, I had all that information available. This is switching. I switched the system, and I'll talk about that as well too. And the switch system is staying with me for 2022 as well. Okay, so I'll get all of that. And this is, we're going to do some Happy Meal, some haul looking at. This is going to be, it doesn't seem like less, but this is part of what is happening for the rest of this year and then going into 2022. I'm going to put this aside for a minute. So I am staying with this, my Animal Crossing journal. I might have to expand it. It's pretty full right now. Once the DLC gets released in 2 days, or on the 5th, depending, November 5th, 2021. Who knows when you're going to be watching this. So this is staying. Put this back here. Let me get a thing. My garden journal. Oh, I keep everything organized in plastic shoe boxes. So my garden journal, I've made a bunch of these. If any of y'all do Aerogardens in the farm series and are wanting to journal them and are interested in having a pre-printed journal, let me know, and I could make them available for sale. Right now, I just use them for personal use. They have bin numbers and everything, so I could sell them. But so anyways, what I have now for the journal is there's the opening page to put what dates this growing log is for. And then instead of having to draw circles every week and wrong with journal. Let's see. We'll compare it. So every week, this is the left side. See, it says left. This is the right side. Pictures underneath. Instead of having to draw this out every single week, it took a lot of time and it was fun, but I don't have this much time every single week anymore. Now I've basically printed out this, but this is the left side, and I can still have room to add the stencils if I want to and decorate it. Here's the spot for the image. Here's a spot for more in-depth logging, like how much it was. Number 6 was, let's see if you can see that. Yeah, so it's before harvest, after harvest, the height, and it would say the date, update 11, so that would be week 11. Come on, go and focus. There you go. Now it's in this, and left side, right side, left side, right side. And then I still use a blank and continue on with this method for, I have two farms and I have 2 LED sprouts. And so The sprouts, I still do this by hand. I still like hand doodle when I'm growing in them. And then this for the farms, because I have 2 farms, so that's 48 pods. It's a lot to draw every single week. Once they are like 3 months into growing, then you're harvesting every 2 days, and it's just a lot. So yeah, this is part of 2022 continuing this. So this cover is from Wanderings, and I don't know if you can get them outside of Canada. They're a Canadian company, and I love their covers. They're cheaper than the Traveler's kind, and they have a different texture. They're not as hard. I mean, these covers are I mean, this one is just starting to age. Yeah. These covers, I like my covers beat up. And these covers are 6, 7 years old, and I mean, they're still really hard. The Wanderings cover is softer leather. It gets beat up really quickly. Like, look at that. I mean, some people are probably going to look at this and go, oh, but this is a well-used cover. So because I like Wanderings so much, and they come in these bags, I saw this on Amazon, and I was like, wow, that is totally my aesthetic. Inside of it, so it's here. I don't know what I'm going to use this for yet, but I will. Inside is this paper that is a mix of recycled paper and cloth. So it's very, I mean, I could maybe make refills and have to retie it, but why would I want to do that? So it just, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to use this beautiful thing for yet. It needs something really, really deserving of this. I might use it for scrapbooking. I don't know. I don't really scrapbook, but I might. And I can't chunky it up too much because it's already pretty chunky with the type of paper it uses. So I have to, I like the way that it closes, and there's room to slide a pen in there if you wanted to. So yeah, I like that. I mean, there's a pen in this one too. This pen came, it's rosewood. It's not a great pen, but it works for my Animal Crossing. So this is going to be used in 2022. I just don't know what for yet. So I saw, this was given to me because I was participating in a panel for the Community-Based Research Center. This lasted a while as a thank you. Part of the thank you gift was this journal. I really like the paper. It's soft. It has the pocket at the end. The brand is Spectre and Company. It's kind of like a moleskin. I mean, the paper is lighter paper, but it's really high quality. And what I'm thinking I'm going to do is attempt doing, because I'm getting rid of the personal journal. I really don't journal all that much. What I'm going to attempt to do is do a 5-year. For half a year. This will only fit half a year. See how it goes, and if I work with it, if it works, then I'll either get another one of these and continue, or I'll buy either a Hibonichi or a Midori 5-year and move over to that. So this is going to be an experiment to see if I can do 5-year journaling, because I like the concept. I like having every single day on one page for 5 years so that you can go back and reassess, or go back and see how things have changed from year to year very, very easily. So let's start with my Wonder Pens. Wonder Pens is like jet pens, but for Canada. I love them. They're normally where I get my journaling supplies, well, at least my journals and my pens and washi and stuff like that when I'm not getting from Amazon. It always comes with a really nice postcard that I keep, that I try to use somewhere. their hands greeted with a special thank you. And so it's part of getting mail from Wonder Pens, is part of the joy is getting this card. So this is part of my 2022 setup. So this wants to come out. You package everything really nicely. So I also got a Faber-Castell dust-free eraser and another mechanical pencil because I like to pencil things in. This pencil is a Pagoda. It is, I think, 0.4 millimeter. Let's see if this will focus. Hello, camera. I'm right here. Woo. No, it doesn't want to. It wants to keep on the back. But yeah, I like to pencil things in before I pen them in. So that's what. I also have the multi-pen, Zebra multi-pen, but this is also there for times where it's like doing sketches for shoots or whatever. Let me get this out of the way. So I am moving on in 2022 to doing the Kokuyo Jibun Techo 2 systems. So this one is the days. And got it in yellow, orange yellow. I like the vellum that came on it. So there's the calendar. This is going to be used for tracking birthdays in here. I'll get through this system in a minute. There's all those different trackers that I'm going to be using for, like, I don't do dreams or my events. These are going to be used for other things. 100 wishes is going to be list ofs. I like these list ofs are free because that is what I really need. So this starts, the month starts in January. So this will not be used until January. So I'm still going to be using the days that what I'm going to use until I have the days. Gosh, I have too much stuff now. I'm going to continue to use the free days from the Travelers Company until I get to this. This is going to be added on to what's in the package over here that we'll get to in a minute. We have days, and then these right here that some people use as habit trackers, I'm actually going to use them, how they're used in business as Gantt charts to track projects that I'm working on. Like right now in November and part of December, I am shooting an art exhibit that I have that will be running through the month of January. That will be a celebration of all the local food producers and beverage producers, wine farms, restaurants, breweries, distilleries, wineries, vineyards. And just because it's been really tough for them through COVID, so we're going to celebrate them and thank them for keeping us fed and watered during these horrible times, and just celebrating them still being here. So these Gantt charts will be like tracking when I'm shooting for my art exhibits that I put on a few times a year, that are hosted by the local art gallery, client shoots, all that stuff. Also, I might use one for exercise, just to let me know what days I have to exercise on at a glance, not to track if I do them, because I'm really good about my exercise. It's not a habit that I'm trying to form, but it is nice to have like at a glance what days I exercise on. The monthly will also have, so hold on, I have these right now as scratch pads as well. So so index pages, tasks based on my body check score, which I'm going to print off. We'll do a setup later of this. My social media sub-tracker, recipe developing, tracking index, F-stoppers, post ideas. I'm also a staff writer for F-stoppers, disable kitchen and garden post ideas, social media idea list, color-coded based on platform, my biz office supply needs list, my color legend, which is, or my Gantt charts. My color legend is quite intense. Movies and TVs, ones that I'm just watching on my own, ones that my partner and I are watch together. And then I've like some wider social media ideas I've already started to unpack. TV schedule, because we don't have cable anymore, and we stream everything, and some streaming, like CTV, they only, unless you have a cable subscription, only allow you to watch things for 1 week before they disappear. So I have to write things down to make sure that we watch them before they disappear, otherwise they don't get watched, and then we're SOL. So that's, but in the month overview, so yeah, this goes in the weeklies as well. But the month overview will have things like deadlines. At the last 2 weeks of every single month, or every single quarter, last 2 weeks of every single quarter, I do not book any client work, because that's all dedicated to admin, and you might be hearing my cats and my dogs wander around. So that will be tracking my admin days and just like at a glance stuff before I get into the weeklies. And then this, if you didn't watch my last video, the dailies will be task lists on one side, punch lists, like bigger scratch notes. There's my cats. This is one of my cats. That's Porthos that you're seeing walking across right now. He likes to help. He might plop down on top of my journals because he likes to help. He's a really good helper. He also likes to sit beside whatever if I'm shooting. He likes to help me do light testing and camera testing and all that other stuff. So I'm not gonna stop him because he's cute and he's good for your mental health. So yeah. Appointments, task lists, appointments. And then, as I demonstrated the other day, and we'll do a setup later on, I'll be taping some vellum right here so that I can tape on recipe development cards, longer lists that can't fit here, like overflow, so that's all kept in one page, so I no longer have to flip between different sections, because flipping between different sections does not work for me anymore. Everything needs to be in the same place, and then there will be a master, one of these indexes will be a master index of things that are in here. Like say right now I'm developing a pumpkin and mashed potato squash Thai soup recipe for both. It's for both the air fryer and the Instapot, and so it's like day whatever, attempt whatever, so I can know where that final recipe is found in my journal. Yeah, Yeah, so that's so yeah. So the days is one part of my system. The ideas maybe used again for longer notes, scratch out ideas, whatever stuff that doesn't really quite fit in my overall work and personal life planning. If I need to just quickly, if I'm on a call and I need to quickly jot down something, I could go in my ideas before I move it back over into my days with a sticky and on that extended dashboard. And how I plan to use the days. Once January, like this will be November and December days until January kicks in. And then also this is from Lay Wines. They're also a Canadian journal store company. This is the first time I've ordered through Lay Wines, and I ordered through them. They also include this paper. I ordered through them because this journal because I need a week's layout as well. And Wonder Pens didn't have any in stock. So they also do a little bit, not as personalized, but it's still a nice card. It's nice quality. Feels like a linen card with a thank you for the order, and they actually hand address, even if they don't write out a personalized note, they at least hand address it and hope that you enjoy your journal. So this will be kept to use for something. Let me move this. Open this. So this is the starter kit. And if you haven't seen the starter kit before, it also has the cover. In the front is the medical records. That's another thing that I need to start tracking. I have some chronic health conditions. I've just been diagnosed with yet another one. And so tracking, I have a lot of medical appointments. Like at least twice a month, I have medical appointments. I have a tumor. It's not cancer, but I have a spinal cord tumor. So I'm a wheelchair user. And I have to have yearly MRIs on my spine to make sure that it's not doing too much damage in there, inoperable, without severing my sciatic nerve. So just stuff like that. Financial management. I don't know if I'm going to use that because I have other ways of tracking my financial management, which is automated. So I don't really need that so much. Life dreams, I don't know, because I don't have, I live in the moment type thing. If I want something, I do it. I don't put off tomorrow what I can do today. So yeah, personal mottos. I think this is where the stuff that I currently track in my personal, the sayings that make me happy, I think I'm going to move that over into personal mottos. Life plan probably is going to bleed over from the personal mottos because I have a lot of them. January, these are birthdays that I can track as well in the life. But I have to see if I can also fit my daily in here. No, so it's not going to close. I need to get a bigger cover if that's going to work. So I'll be carrying around, but yeah, I can put all the year's birthdays that normally I keep between 2 books that will later be transferred into here in this part. The world travel map. I don't know what I'm going to do with this or the Japanese travel map. I could just doodle on it. I could, one of the things that are also in the thing that gets transferred between books, sewing patterns that I've made. I also have like sticker holders. I have these bags that I make that are like planner holders, but this is like all my supplies for journaling for my gardens. They're like go bags. Lining. So I have like those. I have that that need to find a place in my new as well. So there's just could be using it for that with stickies. I could cover it. I don't know. Don't really quite have a plan for that yet. My news. So this is like news, like ages 0 to 4, and it keeps going on. Had a pretty traumatic life. There's big chunks of my growing up that I do not remember because of trauma. So I'm not going to be using it for that. I might start once tracking the stuff for once my kids are born and putting their memories in here maybe. Because I do have their memory books and I might transfer that. I don't know. Or I might use it for something completely different for the My News. Because there's a lot. All the way up to age 99. And, I mean, if I live that long, who knows? The next thing is the family tree. I might do this. Even though my family tree on my dad's side ends at my great grandparents because they're from Ukraine and Poland, Jewish. The towns that they come from in Ukraine and Poland are no longer exist. They're just memorial plaques because of what happened because of the genocide, Jewish genocide. And all of their family history was erased. I mean, they were the only ones that managed to escape. On my maternal side, my mother is adopted. I have a long family, like centuries family tree for my maternal, my adopted grandparents and beyond. But again, so I mean, we'll see if I fill this out. Emergency contact list. Yeah, I mean, I have there's a whole list of people that my partner needs to contact in case I'm in hospital or something happens to me. So that will go here. Password hint list. Nope. No. We don't write down passwords in our house. We both worked in security and IT. We have digital password managers that we can each access in case something goes wrong. Financial management. I don't know if I'll use that or how I'll use it. Ah, here comes Porthos again. Yeah, medical records, already talked about that. So my life book will be used. That's one of the reasons why I got the starter kit was specifically for the life book because I could not find it to buy it on its own. And then when it goes to, once we get to the Techo part of it, again, the lists, I'm not quite sure. This will be, so while the days will have birthdays, this one that has the weeks in it, the Techo weeks, will be appointments at a glance. Deadlines as well will be in here in red. Again, this will be for tracking all sorts of things that are not these things. I will put my color legend here. The weekly, I really like this, and people are don't quite know how to use this, but this is my favorite because basically, like I had in my business, I had things that I have to do every week for my business and things I have to do every day. I would have it as a punch list, more in like a bullet journal style, but now this will go in this area. And basically my exercise days, I have all this color coded so I can just look at it. Exercise days will be highlighted on here. Weekly live videos. I'm going to be doing weekly live plan with me's because I think it's just, it doesn't matter how you plan, what style you use. We all can learn from each other. Doesn't matter what system you're using. I just like to have a few hours every single week where we sit together, we chat in YouTube chat, and we just plan together instead of pre-recording the plan with me's and live talking with those. So yeah, that's going to be in here Saturdays, probably at, did I write down when I was pre-planning? So look, yeah, so look. I mean, oh, those are minutes. So yeah, I pre-plan, and then I plan, and then I move it into my planner. So yeah, the live YouTube plan with me is 4 p.m. Pacific time, which after we go back to standard time on Sunday morning will be midnight GMT, which is probably too late. So I'm thinking I might actually put it back to 2 p.m., which would be 10 p.m. I mean, it's still late. I can't really do anything earlier on Saturday. I mean, I might be able to do noon. We'll see. Anyway, so anywhere between noon and 4, I still have to nail that date down, will be the live plan with me's. What else is going in my weekly? I closed that too soon. Yeah, so meal prep days. I do meal prep completely differently than other people. I mean, there's specific days of the week that I may have time. I meal prep a month in advance and not a week in advance. And I don't like, I might walk you through my meal prep process at some time. I do have a blog post about it that needs to be reorganized because it doesn't quite make sense. I will link my current. That will also go down in the link below about how I currently prep things. So that might go in there. Dog. Oh no, that will. Yeah, meal prep. Um, Social media schedule will also go in here. There's a thing that I participate on YouTube, which is a weekly write-in for writers. The channel for that is Pub Talk Live. I will link that channel that I do on Wednesday nights, so that will be in here. And then the TV show schedule that I talked about earlier will also be in here. So this is just like things that happen on regular days, every single day or every single week will go on this page, as well as to-dos that have to be done every single week. So that's what this will be used for. Again, these lists will be used differently than what they say. I mean, we don't really watch too many movies or promises as well. That's like those will go on my to-do lists. So this will be used as something different. Again, these will be used for, I like that starts in November because I'm shooting right now, the Gantt charts for projects, both for clients and personal, and other exercise, So these Gantt charts will be used as business Gantt charts and not as habit trackers because I am autistic and very habit driven. If I want to break a habit is impossible. Creating habits is really, really easy. I love that this goes all the way into 2023 because I have a big, huge national exhibit that I'm shooting that is very, very multifaceted and multi-pronged that I'm currently planning, that I currently use Microsoft Planner to plan, and it's not working for me, it being online and just being another thing I have to check on my computer when I'm working. So I'm going to be transferring that timeline also into these Gantt charts. And that's a big, huge exhibit that explores the intersections between disability, culture, and food. and it's going to tell the stories of 24 different people about their experiences with those 3 intersections. So yeah, the fact that it goes into 2023 is a huge bonus. I'm going to be using this right away. I mean, yeah, just basically at a glance days that I have trauma therapy and what else? So therapy, doctor's appointments, client appointments. Like this weekend, I am a guest speaker at a photography convention, and I'm teaching, and then I have a bunch of stuff. I mean, we get to December, and these 2 weeks are booked off from no client work, so that has to be checked in. I have other appointments in January. I actually have appointments already scheduled all the way to May of next year. So the big, huge at-a-glance things will go in here. And then I'm so looking forward to this weekly. The weekly is why I got the personal. I mean, I love I almost went with Hibonichi Avec, but the problem with the Avec is that it does not have this section down here, and it doesn't have the Gantt charts. The Avec would have been perfect because it's basically both of these things in one, and I wanted to get into one journal, but that's not going to happen. So weekly, I mean, let's do Monday. Monday was, and it starts this week as well, so I have to backdate it. I mean, Monday, come on, February 1st, or I mean, November 1st, Jesus, Jules. So yeah, so every day, that's another thing, from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. is basically learn time. It's where those 2 hours I prep for the day, any continuing education that I'm doing, either reading or if I'm doing an online course or whatever, that is done in those first 2 hours of every single day. So I might also put those in the weekly, because that time rarely, if ever, changes. Only the odd time that if I have a medical appointment before 10 o'clock in the morning, would that learning time be moved to somewhere else in the day. So it's basically going to be a running list of appointments, basically no, that's not handy. It's one of these. So yeah. This is basically going to be this. I'm also going to track the time. I mean, Monday I shot a video. I thought I was going to be done by 1400 hours, but actually it took, I was still editing at 1830. So I have to type up some minutes and tasks for a last board meeting. And so, I mean, I had scheduled those for 17 and 18 at this block, but I mean, it didn't happen. The emails did happen. I didn't jar the soup, so that had to be moved. So yeah. So anyways, and then once we get to, this is like planning ahead, and then this may move into here, or because I have it here at a glance, I mean, I'll write so this will be like punch lists, which is, okay, so yeah, this is this. If I'm shooting, like with the shooting day, that will be blocked off. This punch list then moves to this, and maybe some more details, like if there's something I need to remember for a meeting that won't fit in here. Like say I have a client meeting at 1400 hours. At 1400 hours, I would put some notes about that meeting. And then page of vellum will be pasted to this for overflow, for recipe development, for whatever doesn't fit here, then there will be the overflow page. So that's how that is working. Down here for the mood tracker, I don't do a mood tracker because, I mean, that's not how I work. But where it has the sunrise, the midday, and the evening stars. A lot of people use this for meal tracking. But what I'm going to be doing is at one of the things I'm going to be adding to the beginning is I currently have an Excel file that I have tasks that I can do based on spoons. So I check in the morning, and today I have 3 spoons. So 3 would be written there, and you can see it here. And then based on my spoons, I figure out what I'm going to do that day when it's not a client shoot day. So it could be anything from write 100 words if I have 1 spoon, and that's all I do for that day because that's all those spoons I have. Then I recheck in at lunch, and maybe because I took it easy in the morning, I might have 2 spoons so I can add another task. And again, I pull the tasks, and it took me a long time to be able to figure out those tasks, trial and error, so that by the end of the day, I actually had spoons left instead of needing the 3 or 4 days to recover because I overdid it. And then the evening, I just check in again with my body to see if I did good. Because if I'm not at a 0, if I have as many spoons as I had when I woke up, or maybe even more, especially because I have to fit in exercise every single night, starting at around 1900 hours. Sometimes I do it at my lunchtime. Then I check in to see how I'm feeling after my exercise. And yeah, so that's what that's going to be doing, because this body check-in was also happening in this. Let's see where I have it handy. When I do my live setup video, it's going to make more sense. But so yeah, I did it with squares in here, right? So, and I had a note, assess how I'm doing, but now it's habit, so I don't have to do that anymore. And also like the dog food making day would also go in here because I cannot use the kitchen on dog food making days. Both my dogs are allergic to everything store-bought. So we have to make their dog food and use a meal supplement recommended by the vet so they get all their vitamins and stuff. So anyway, so I had a 3. So the task that I was able to do for that day was write 600 words, and I did that from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And then photography study, and I did that from 11 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And then I reassessed at 3 p.m. and I was at a 1, so that meant is like, okay, I am done for the day. I assess at 10 after I'm done my morning stuff, and reassess at 3. So this day, I woke up and I was a 4. So I developed an air fryer potato scone recipe. I wrote and I looked at themes because I was designing a new website, and so I had to look at I had to do some research on that. And then when I reassessed, I was at a 6. So I did some images redo. I did some re-editing of some images, and I worked on my website redo for a bit. So yeah, that's how that works. When I set this up in the video, it will make more sense. Because I'm gonna do a when you're in my weekly planning, it will make more sense. And when I set up the master before I do my weekly life plannings. So that is how I'm going to use the weeks. So it's going to be a big, huge global overview, a little bit more drilled down, and then completely granular is how that's going to work. And then I have more idea paths because I go through these a lot. I mean, yeah, and then there's the writing board that is also really, really handy in this back pocket and front pocket. The only thing that I am a little bit concerned about is I really want to be able to keep these in one cover. This is an A5. I mean, oh no, it's not an A5. This is also a B6. This is, do I even, let's look it on here. Yeah, so the height would work on these. The width wouldn't, obviously, because they are, but anyways, I'm thinking the Animal Crossing Hobonichi cover is back in stock. I'm thinking I might order it because there's more room. Problem with that is I really need these plastic covers. And I know there's the covers for covers, but because these will be in a working kitchen and they will get food splatters on them, you know how really loved recipe books get dirty over time? Well, these will get dirty over time too, for the same reason, because they will be on photography shoots. They will be in a food photography shoots. They will be in working kitchens. So they need to be, at least the covers, need to stay waterproof. And I don't want to ruin a Hobonichi cover. And I'm not even sure, because these are a little bit taller than the Hobonichis. I have a friend that has the cover, and I can ask them if they can fit their Techo or their Jibun Techos into their Hobonichi Techo cover, and see if that is still an option, because I really want the cover, but I need to have a reason to use it. So yeah, this is my setup. I mean, I'm supposed to be downsizing, but it actually is. I mean, I have, look at all of these. Oh wait, this is going to be used too. And these are going to be stuck, posted into. Anyway, so this is basically my setup for the rest of 2021 and into 2022. I will be shooting the master setup of my Techos, my Jibun Techos pretty soon. And so hopefully some of the things I discussed in here will make more sense then. So if you like this video, if there was anything in here that interested you and you want to see more, if you want to join me for live weekly plan with me's, which will begin on this Friday is the 5th, 12th, 13th, which will begin on November 13th. They can't begin this weekend because I am teaching at a photography conference, at an international photography conference. So yeah, November 13th will be the first plan with me live. So yeah, like, subscribe if any of this interests you, and thank you for coming. Until next time, bye.